it's Emily here, and it is day something of VEDA, and today I want to talk to you about my disability. I have talked about this a little bit on my channel before and on my blog, but I decided that since I talked about my disability a little bit during my Me Before You discussion earlier this week, this might be a good time for me to bring it up again for people who are new to my channel or who don't know me as well, and I can kind of tell you a little bit more about where I'm coming from. Especially since when you look at me, you look at my videos, you probably would have no clue that I have a disability because it has nothing to do with my face or my upper body, really. And so on video, because of the way I have my camera angle, which part of it is very intentional, you really can't tell that I have a disability. And I feel like, well, I probably should let you guys know what's up. So I have a genetic disorder called osteogenesis imperfecta, or you can just say OI for short. If you look at what the words mean, osteo is the word for bones, genesis is beginning, like the first book of the Bible, so beginning, and imperfecta is imperfect, so imperfect bones from the beginning. Basically, my bones are very brittle and they break easily, and also I am super short. And not just in a, oh look at her, she's cute way, but I mean like, I'm really short. I am 4'2", in fact. And when I say that, people are like, oh, that is really short, but most of the time, until they actually meet me in person or see a full long shot of me, they don't realize exactly how short that is. And guys, I'm pretty tiny. Because most people, when they see me, they just see short and they think I have dwarfism or something like that, and that's not the case. Because if you look at the way my body type is compared to people with dwarfism, and you really notice there's a lot of differences. And so, no, I do not have dwarfism. I have osteogenesis imperfecta, OI. I was first diagnosed when I was 1.5 years. The first doctor that was an orthopedic doctor that my family had taken me to, he didn't really know what was going on, and I was a baby, so I really don't know much of the details, but from what I'm told, he just really had no clue what was wrong with me, and he had all these different solutions that totally would have been completely inappropriate. And then my family pediatrician, she suggested, hey, there's this doctor who works at Children's Memorial in Chicago, Dr. Tadjan, you should go check him out. And so my parents took me over there because they had this little child who kept on breaking her bones and they didn't know why. And he walked into the exam room, and apparently they didn't give me a gown or anything, so I'm just this little toddler sitting on the table, and he said, she looks cold. You should give her a gown. And so they did, and all he had to do was look at my eyes, and he was like, oh, she has OI. Because apparently kids who have OI, the sclera of their eyes is a shade of blue. And so obviously he had some official tests done, but he knew right away what was wrong, and he was fantastic. And so what's strange about it though is that this is a genetic disorder, but I'm the first person in my family to ever have OI, which is kind of weird. I think we found out it might be like a muted gene on both sides of my family or something. It's super bizarre and super random. There are also several types of OI, and they keep on adding the different types of OI. To be honest, I don't know what type I have. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle of the road, maybe edging on the side of the little bit more severe, because I do have short stature, and I had about 15 body casts by the time I was 11. And yeah, but I honestly don't really know which type I have, which I guess depending on who you talk to may or may not be a good thing. But the way I see it is I've been dealing with this for almost 30 years now, and I know how to handle it for the most part. And so until a doctor or someone officially tells me, hey, we should figure out which type you have exactly, I'm not really going to worry about it much because I'm short and I break easily. That's pretty much it. And so, yeah, I've broken basically a ton of bones. Usually it's my legs. For kids who have this disorder, the femur, your thigh bone, is the one that you usually break because it's the longest bone in your body and it holds the most weight. And so I've broken my femurs the most often, but I've broken my tibias, the calf, a couple times. I've broken my arm once. I have back problems too, and all of that. And this year I cracked my knee for the first time. And that ultimately actually is why I've been talking about this more lately. If you look at my Twitter especially, you'll notice I've been talking about my injury and my disability a lot more now. And honestly, I don't talk about all that much. And it's not because I'm ashamed of it. It's not because I'm not comfortable talking about it or anything like that. It's just that a privilege of mine that I have is that it's not necessarily always the forefront of my mind. And it is to an extent, obviously, because I will always be short, I'll always be breakable, I always have to be careful and be sure I don't get injured. But I haven't had an injury in a really long time. When I was doing the math, I haven't had an injury since college, and that's been almost 10 years, which is really awesome, and for most people, that's like not a big deal. For me, that's a huge deal that I haven't, this is my first injury in almost 10 years. That's incredible. And so when I broke my kneecap in January, it was kind of like oh yeah, this is a thing. I break easily. And so I kind of had to remind myself that this is a thing that happens to me. And in a way, it's really good for me because I kind of, when I go through long periods of time when I don't hurt myself, I kind of get into this false sense of reality that like, oh, nothing's wrong. I don't have a disability, which is totally not true. And so, in a way, it's kind of a good wake-up call for me because it's forcing me to really think about it, especially since I'm right now at the peak of my strength. As I get older, I'm probably going to lose strength in my bones. I'm going to lose strength in my legs. And so, this is really a good time for me to really evaluate, okay, what is my lifestyle like? What are my habits like? I need to be sure I'm taking care of myself and doing everything I possibly can to be sure my bones stay strong so that way as I get older, I can still be active and not bound to a wheelchair or at home or anything like that. So yeah, that's OI basically and my disability in a nutshell, and I want to have this time to open up to questions. I've been trying to think of what I want to do this month, and I thought a Q&A video might be good. It could be about my disability. It could be about not my disability. It could be about books. It could be about life. It could be about whatever you want. So I thought it'd be fun to do a Q&A video. Go ahead and leave your questions down in the comments, and hopefully in the next week or two, I'll do a video answering all of your questions. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and I love your faces. Bye!